You have 3 seconds, 3 seconds to prove that this thought, this idea is worth having. 3 seconds have passed. Look what 2026 has done to all of us. We used to follow an idea from when it came about at its very first uncertain step, and then we followed it through to its conclusion. You'll know if you were born in the 70s, 80s, even 90s perhaps. But now we are only really open to the loudest idea that is already concluded for us within the first 3 seconds. And that's why I said you've only got 3 seconds. The feed, the algorithmic feed, the social media feed, it does not reward that exploration that we were so fortunate to have. So, for creators, for brands, for entrepreneurs, for students, for anyone who is looking to build something and trying to build something, this is the economy that we are operating in. These first 3 seconds have become the product, it's everything. So, that's how much the idea and the thought gets compressed. So, if the compression happens in the first 3 seconds, how can you take a complex idea and present that, provide that? Out the window with complexity then. Because nuance, a nuanced take, a nuanced idea, a nuanced approach, it needs room, but the algorithm does not give us this room. These social feeds do not give us the room. It gives us a window, and that window is closing before we've tried to process any new information, explore the idea, to follow it through to sort of its conclusion. So therefore, what ends up happening is our cognitive states, our minds are being trained to stop reaching for that harder idea, that complexity. We stop reaching for a version of the argument that actually might not be so conclusive at first, might not be so already agreed. It might not sort of have an arrival point. And what you can end up doing is, oh no, that's too complex. Oh, that's requires too much explanation. Let's pre-edit this in our mind and then put it out there. And then what ends up happening is our nervous system, our consciousness. This is all my personal take and my personal view. It's not based on any research, although I have research tentacles since I am finishing my research dissertation project for my MSc. And it is about the algorithm. And then I do find that our nervous systems are then trained to almost flinch and have an allergic reaction to complexity. So when I talk about my 7 strategic zones and the framework, I was just looking for the list. I've had it here ever since I created it, and it's always near where I create my videos. So the zones that would really apply to this would be zone 4, media literacy and zeitgeist awareness, and also zone 7, which is about your reflexive thinking. And why? So it's really important that we stay grounded and we are reflexive in our thinking, this sort of discipline of noticing things, to pay attention to what the system is asking of us, before we just react and be automated by it. And the zone 4 of media literacy and zeitgeist awareness, knowing how these big tech companies, how technological and AI advancement is happening, what the thoughts and the ideas are around it, is really important for us and our cognitive development. And there are many things happening all at once. And that's why my book is called Many Things at Once. I notice that I'm not saying many things true at once or many truths at once, which is what people have begun to say. I started, and actually, the line on my book says, when 2 things can be true at once is not enough. And now I'm hearing people saying multiple truths at the same time. I'm saying, just step back from the truth, sometimes in that exploration and adventure and quest for truth, we need to just regard, we need to explore, we need to entertain many things going on that haven't yet reached that truth stage. They are perspectives, they are ideas, they are currents, they are emergence. So many things at once are going on right now. The algorithm is a tool. The algorithm is also a training environment. It's having a real impact on our psyches and our cognitive development. You can use it without being shaped entirely by it. You can not let it become your brain. And that requires attention on purpose in an intentional way. You have to be intentional about the use of it every time you use it. If you think that idea is exhausting, then you're not going to be building that sort of cognitive, muscular structure that you are going to require to get through the next years and decade. I want to pose some reflections, pose some questions for you to reflect on, rather. So I want you to reflect on this and perhaps even put it in the comments. Name a specific idea that you simplified recently that got left out. You just dropped it. You thought, no, there's no point. So that's one. The other one is the difference between compression as a skill and compression as a reflex. So, for instance, in communications, we can compress information in order to make it more bite-sized or to be very economical with words to get the message across, but you don't lose the purpose and the content, if you like. It's still there. It's brevity, it's concise. And then there's the compression of something like an idea, because it's become a reflex. You're reacting this way now because you'd rather not have to do the hard work and deal with a bigger, harder idea. So thoughts on that. And then also how and where and if you experience this sort of intellectual challenge or this almost, let's say, a risk to you and your intellect, how you observe it, especially within this very hook driven format that we have and with content that the first 3 seconds are so important. Do you remember when it was 7 and then it was 5 and now it's 3? So how and where have you experienced that risk to your intellect, your ability to cognitively load? Because we want more load, we want more friction in order to advance out here. If you would like more from me, there are so many options in the description. You can find out about my book, released very soon, depending on when you watch this. It's already out. And I've been in communications and the media for 25 years. I am a holistic practitioner. I'm a creative also. My master's is in systems thinking. My research is about the algorithm as gatekeeper and how that impacts the ideation of political content creators, commentators, and independent journalists. I'm born and raised in London, and I do multiple things: consulting, training, creating. You can find more of my content online, definitely on Substack. I write, and it's been wonderful to have your time and attention, the most important things. And I'm just going to say, I'm really doing my earnest, like I'm making a real attempt here to make content that lasts for longer than 10 minutes. And if it means I'll waffle on a little bit longer, it's so that I can keep you here and engaged for longer. It's really good for our brains. What did you do that was so super good for your brain aside from watching this today? Something that really provided some cognitive friction, some focus, some diversity in terms of a different sensory experience some new facts, some new figures? Did you have to do some math homework for your child? Are you a student? Are you learning something different? Did you pick up a musical instrument that you find is difficult? Have you chosen to explore a new art form? Are you working with pottery or abstracts or paints? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. All of these things are really important for us. I am here to help you level up your strategic thinking, but that starts with your thinking, your approach to ideas, to data, to life. And that's why I thought it was really important to cover this. You'll find other videos here as well on my channel. And just to give you a quick, let's say, outline, the content you'll find here, there's a video that's done quite well. It's called Wicked Problems. Do you have a wicked problem? And I go into how it was termed that way, why it was termed that way. Also, don't stop reading and writing. Check that out. And I also talked about in a video about the creator economy and how it's extracting from you, and you want to ensure that you protect yourself in that respect. So I've done it. I've kept you here for longer than 10 minutes. You are wonderful and awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.